Hey everybody, this is Nathan here at the Gold Cove. You know the roll, just outside of Detroit. We're in Roseville, Michigan, 25555 Gratiot. Why don't you stop in and visit us? Actually, we've been a little bit slow. It's July, we're slow, but I've been thinking about something. It's not new, great news. If you're on social media, if you're on the threads, if you're watching a lot of videos about precious metals and stuff, you'll have heard this. I do have some guys that watch my video, actually a lot of guys, and they're not embedded in what's going on online. They may have not have heard this, and that's why we're going to talk about it a little bit today, and it's how to protect yourself from institutions accidentally stealing your gold. Institutions accidentally stealing your gold. When I say accidentally, it's like they didn't do it maliciously, right? These companies we hear about, and probably you know where I'm going with this, is the latest one is Rosland Capital. For the last 10 or 15 years, I've seen their commercials on TV, and it would say, buy gold now. Warships are circling in the Middle East. You need to buy gold. Now, that was a valid reason all those years they did those commercials. Now, seems like war in the Middle East does not affect gold in an upward movement. But if you don't know, they declared bankruptcy not too long ago, and they defaulted on about $60 million in debt. And a lot of that debt is from people like you and I, where if you dealt with Rosland Capital, when you kind of online, they're, I don't know if they're brick and mortar, but they don't function that way. So you would order gold from them, send them a check or silver, send them a check, and then wait for your material to arrive. Or you might mail them in gold and silver and then wait for them to process it and send you a check. Other companies like that, they will be like maybe a fiduciary for you. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but they will be a holding place where they would have gold and silver in your name on account. And so you bought gold and silver and it's sitting there in a pool that's got your name on it, but is there any gold and silver? Is it really yours? They have defaulted on some of that. Now, that's not the norm. Like, people will come in and they'll say, hey, they'll ask me, and I don't really care that much. They'll say, I'll say, hey, there's good online companies like the big ones that we know about, AppMax and SD Bullion and JM Bullion. Those are all big name companies, and they are relatively safe. I've always said, they're safe. You can deal with them. But I might have said Rosland Capital. I don't know anything about them. I've never done business with them, but I see they're a big name. And so it's difficult, right? And so I don't want this to sound self-serving. Most of the people that watch this video will never step foot in my store, although I wish you would. But I remember getting in this business, probably some of you guys might remember this name because they were heavy. It was a heavy hitter, like, kind of like a good old boy company. Wasn't one of those big flashy names that everybody knew, but like the good old boys knew them and maybe dealt with them, and it was called Tulving. Tulving was, I think it was the guy's name, Tulving, and he did lots of business. Somebody would order, 5 monster boxes from him, and he'd send it out. And so your sophisticated, wealthy stackers, that was kind of his customer base. You might order 100 gold eagles, or you might ship him 100 gold eagles and wait for payment. And so that made big waves when I was kind of first getting in this business, maybe 12 or 15 years ago, that he defaulted. And so people that maybe had sent him 5 monster boxes and they were waiting for payment, never got it. Or people that sent him a check for 100 gold eagles. Now they're waiting for that to arrive in the mail. And I remember seeing, like, on the forums and on the threads, you're like, anybody know about Tulving? I've been waiting 6 weeks for eagles and this and that. And so that's a huge deal. And so that makes the case. I don't care where you are, if you're in Omaha or Texas or Michigan, that makes a big case to find a local dealer that you're comfortable with, that has, fair premiums and fair buybacks and deal direct, right? Deal direct. Now, I've had people come in here and buy 100 ounces of gold. And if they want 100 gold bars or 100 gold eagles, I probably don't have that. And so they'd have to give me a check, and then I would order it in a week or 10 days. It would come in. At least we're here in a brick and mortar. You can find us. There's a police department you can deal with. It's in your community. But even that would be scary to me. Like I'm on the cautious side of things. And so I'm always a little bit skeptical. And so for me to go in and write a $500,000 check and wait for my gold, and people do it. People have done it. There's really no way around it, I don't think, unless you buy smaller increments. But yeah, when you are in a position and you have built up a nest egg of gold and silver, I think most of us agree. We're not gonna ship this out, right? A lot of us are not gonna go ahead and ship out monster boxes of silver or gold. Who has a monster box of gold? But we're not gonna ship out heavy weighted stuff. And so we have an advantage locally over those online sites because people are gonna wanna sell their stuff locally where they can come in, carry it in, walk through the door, walk out with money. But when you buy things from these big companies, if you're buying 10 ounces at a time or an ounce of gold, there's small risk. But if you're spending 6 figures and you're waiting on your stuff in the mail or you've sent stuff to them and you're waiting on a check, I got to tell you, I mean, for my money, unless you're like in a town of a population of 90, I'm going to find a bullion shop to deal with. And if that sounds self-serving, I apologize. That's just how I would do it if I was on your side of the counter or your side of the transaction. I'm going to go in, cash and carry if I can, or check and carry, you know what I'm saying. And I want to walk out with the stuff that I pay for, or I want to walk out with money when I sell it right there at that point, even just to eliminate that little tiny percentage that some company like Rosland Capital, a huge name, could default. And now I'm out, maybe I've worked hard my whole life, stacked up this stuff, and now I'm going to cash out, or I'm going to move out of the country, or I'm going to buy my dream home or a second home or whatever. I'm going to start to leave the kids some money and sell some metal to do that. And whatever your reason when you sell large quantities like that, man, that's a terrible thing for you to work hard, scrimp, not pay for other things and indulge yourself and go ahead and buy metals instead, and then to get it, bamboozled. So these guys didn't intentionally, these institutions didn't intentionally rob you of your gold and silver, but they did. Take it nonetheless. You lost. And I don't know what else, Caleb. I know we've been a little bit slow. July and August. August starts to pick up a little bit at the end of August, but I think in a lot of the trades, a lot of industries, July can be slow. It has been slow here in the store. We're still doing decent numbers, paying the light bills, but it can get a little bit boring around the store. So come on in and make things happen, make it more exciting for us and for you. Metals, they started to look a little bit stronger this week. They're coming up a little bit. Wow, we've seen gold crack the next $100 level up over 4,100, and I think it got up to 4,160 or 70, and silver got over 60 again, right? I can't believe we're talking about this like this is a big deal. Silver was down at 55, got over 60, starting to show some strength, and then boom, the cloud came over the precious metal market again. As of the recording of this video, gold is back down, 70, 80 bucks. Silver's dropped into the 57 and change range. Who knows where it'll stay or where it'll go or what's happening. Always something, right? It's just not a trade that just slowly climbs up. It just takes those turns. And I guess we watch it day by day, which is not super healthy. Other thing, this is a public service announcement. I got a text on my way to work. On my way into work today, and it said, buy gold now while you can. Buy gold now while you can. You believe that? And problem is we've been hearing that for decades, right? I think Rosland Capital was a big one for coining that phrase, like buy gold now. And they say like one day it'll be unobtainable. And I guess to the common guy, when you're paying $5,000 an ounce, that feels unattainable, but I'm just teasing on that. I don't think you need to go out there and push everything else aside and buy gold now. Guys, I appreciate you watching. Heading into the weekend, have a great weekend. Do something fun. Do something for someone else. Have a great day. Signing out.
Thank you guys for watching our videos, subscribing to the channel, and liking our content. We are truly enjoying this journey on YouTube with all of you, and I hope you guys are as well. Be sure to be subscribed to the channel and notified on all of our content. And most importantly, buy precious metals, and don't forget to check out Cameron's whatnot called Gold Cove Cam on there. Things are going way too cheap. It's exciting. It's fun. I'm on there. Pops is on there. Cam's is on there. And yeah, don't forget to, throw in some suggestions in the comments down below of what you want to see. Or if you want to be on film, please also let us know. Take care, everyone. We appreciate y'all. Have a great day.